The raised bed in my greenhouse has become invaded by fungus gnats. Apparently it came in some of the compost that I've had. I've been trying to use some yellow sticky traps to get them, but that's only getting a few of the adults. And they've apparently laid a lot of eggs in the soil because they continue hatching. So both the raised bed and the hanging planters that I have in here, of which I have 3 there and I have 2 more on this side, and they've all become infected with these fungus gnats. So today I'm going to mix up some Neem Cake Tea, which kills the fungus gnats rather rapidly. It takes about a tablespoon of that per gallon of water. I have these 2 1-gallon bottles of old wine bottles. I think they're Carlo Rossi, but they work perfectly for this because I can add the neem cake to it, shake them up, and then take the cap off, leave the cap off, let them set for 12 hours, and I'll have some neem cake tea to soil drench the beds, and that instantly kills the larvae in the raised bed. And once the larvae are killed, no more adults will come out, but it's necessary to keep up this regimen of these soil drenches for 3 consecutive weeks, and I prefer 5 consecutive weeks because as adults emerge and they lay more eggs, then the next soil drench will kill the larvae from those eggs, and continue that for 3 to 5 weeks, and there will be absolutely no fungus gnats left. So I'm going to get busy and make some neem cake tea, and we'll get started on this. Okay, I've got everything together, ready to put together to make this neem cake tea. Neem cake, these are pellets. They're also called Neem Meal in a lot of places, so it's interchangeable if you see it advertised. I put a stool here so that I could put a funnel on top of the bottles, pour the neem cake into them, and we'll stir them up, and we'll get started on that process. It's rather simple. Got a small funnel to go in here. I need 1 good rounded tablespoon of neem cake to go in each gallon bottle. A word of caution, if you've never used neem cake in the past, it's an excellent fertilizer. It's high in nitrogen. It's a 612 potassium and phosphorus, nitrogen. So it's used a lot for that. But if you've never used it, it has a very, very strong odor. And most people say it's a very putrid smell. I think it's kind of an earthy smell, but different opinion. But there's the pellets are in the bottle. Just shake them up a little bit to let them start their process of dissolving. Now these will set for 12 hours for those pellets to totally dissolve, and then I'll come out every couple hours and shake this up just to make sure that they're dissolving and they're getting blended. At the end of the 12 hours, this will be a very dark tea, and tea colored is the color of it. And then this is used as a soil drench to kill the larvae of the fungus gnats. So it's that simple, making neem cake tea, and I'll be back and film the finished product when it has set for 12 hours. It's been just over 12 hours, and the tea has been brewing, and it's ready to put on the gardens to saturate the soil. And so we're going to get that done this morning. It's looking very good. It smells good. It's important when we do this that we saturate the soil of all of the containers, including these in the back and these hanging baskets, because they contain soil and they'll have larvae of the fungus gnat as well. So we're going to saturate the soil of this raised bed and of all the containers that we have in here with soil in them. I set up this little watering can that I can pour the tea into and use it to saturate the soil. So I'll set up this camera here and we'll get ready to get this done. I think this is kind of a small greenhouse. I'm not able to get a wide angle view of the work, but I think I'll be able to see most of it. I'm going to take this tea and I'm going to pour it into this watering can here. I don't need the neem cake that's in the bottom of the bottle, but if some of it comes out, that won't hurt anything. It's good fertilizer for the soil in addition to the affecting the hormones of the fungus gnats. The way that this neem cake tea works so effectively against fungus gnats is it affects the hormones of the fungus gnats, of the larvae, and stops them from feeding. And of course they then shortly die thereafter. So it's very effective. It's like one day and it'll be done. They will have killed most of the fungus gnats. I don't know if it shows in the camera, but the neem cake pellets are still in the bottom of the bottle. So now I'll simply use this to water all of the soil in this bed with this tea so that we get as many fungus gnats as we can. If I get it on the leaves, it doesn't hurt anything. It's actually beneficial to them. So we'll spread this throughout the water or throughout the bed to make sure that it's as saturated as possible and kill as many fungus gnats as we can with this very first dose. And as I mentioned earlier, this needs to be done once a week now for at least 3 weeks, preferably 5 weeks. And that'll break the cycle of the fungus gnats laying more eggs and hatching more larvae out. This is bok choy and Napa cabbage growing here, which is doing very well in this greenhouse environment. I'm very happy with it. We've been eating some of the Napa cabbage. Made some cabbage rolls out of them, and it was delicious. That finished the first gallon of the Neem Cake Tea. And we'll use the second gallon to finish doing all the pots. I mentioned, I think earlier in the video, if I didn't, I should have, that when you're brewing this tea, be sure to leave the cap off the bottle because it's a fermentation process and it can create gas in there and cause the bottle to explode. So either use a plastic bottle or leave the lid off to make sure that it doesn't trap gas in there and cause a problem. As I mentioned earlier, it's important to do all containers, including these in the back, because they will have fungus gnats in them as well. And also do the hanging baskets, which won't show on the video because they're too high. And we'll apply the rest of it to the bed. It didn't get saturated in some areas, so we'll finish that now. Typically after applying this Neem Cake Tea, there will be a quick boost in the plant growth because of the nitrogen that's in it, and that completes that. So now I've completed the saturation of the soil, killed the fungus gnat larva, and by midweek I'll see a dramatic decrease in the number of fungus gnats in this greenhouse, and then next weekend I'll apply another round of the Neem Cake Tea, and that'll kill off some more of the larvae. So that's the end of the idea on using the Neem Cake Tea to control fungus gnats. It's very, very effective. It's organic. It's organic approved, and everything we do is organic gardening. So it complies with everything we want to do, and it keeps a greenhouse free of fungus gnats and whiteflies and other such critters. So that concludes this video. Thank you for watching.